Hi there, my name's Dr. Andy Cope, and the t-shirt gives you a clue. So, basically, what I've been studying for about the last 20 years now is the science of positive psychology or the science of happiness. So, what I want to do is share this is aimed at teachers, but pretty much anybody will benefit from it, I think. I'm just going to do I've just adapted. I don't want you to think I'm trying to sell you a book, all right? That's not the point of this video. The point is to give something to teachers that might be useful. I wrote Shine with Gavin Oates. So, Gavin is my co-author. He's a very funny guy. Okay, so Gav writes the funny bits, I write the sciencey happiness bits, and we kind of combined it together. And I'm about to read a bit that Gav wrote. So he's Scottish, and this takes place in a Scottish school. So I'm not going to do the Scottish accent, but picture the scene. He's 18 years old. He's turned up at his first teacher placement as a student in a primary school in the north of Scotland. He's just met what he calls a wee scary woman, which is the head teacher, and her first piece of advice before he goes in the school was don't smile till Christmas. So he's reeling from that, and he's about to enter the staff room. I'm just going to go with it. This is Gav's words, not mine. Deep breath, and I'm in. It was just how I imagined. A perfect rectangle of chairs, a table in the middle strewn with newsletters and biscuits, pigeonholes crammed full of paper down one side, and a kitchen area at the back. I felt like I'd made it. I was in. This was the inner sanctum. I was a grown-up. I sat down and very quickly a woman approached me. "Excuse me, son, you're sitting in Anne's chair." I remember them telling me at uni that some staff rooms were a bit funny about this, how certain individuals would always sit in the same seat. I moved, awkwardly, to the next seat. "Go and get yourself a coffee, son," someone said. Awkward again. I have a caffeine allergy, you see. But I was straight out of school and still in the mindset of being a pupil, so I did as I was asked and I made myself a coffee. I stood there stirring it, thinking, I'm going to die. I haven't even made it into the classroom yet and someone's going to have to phone my mother. But I was rescued. Another woman approached me and pointed out, "Excuse me, excuse me, son, you're using Anne's mug." Anne was causing me problems. I hadn't even met her. In fact, I never did. She was always off, with stress. Too many people using a mug, probably. So I stood there Monday morning in the kitchen area of the staff room in a new place of work, a 45-year career stretching out before me. I didn't know where to sit, what to drink from, or who to talk to. I stood for a few minutes. No one spoke to me. I cupped my coffee, tempting to take a sip just to take away the numbness. Maybe death wasn't such a bad thing. People were coming and going. Some stood in conversations with others. I listened. I watched. And my unease started to grow into worry. 45 years began to feel like a life sentence. There was a feeling about the room that is best described as grumpiness. There was plenty of chatter, but the undercurrent was most definitely of unease with the world. There was a distinct atmosphere, and believe it or not, I began to doubt my entire choice of career. Think about this for a moment. I began to doubt my entire choice of career based entirely on other people's conversations, moods, energy, attitudes, mindset, and faces. Just as I began to think I'd made a huge mistake, it all changed. The entire feeling in the room just flipped upside down with the introduction of just one member of the team. I later learned this woman wasn't in any official leadership role, and she wasn't even a classroom teacher. She was a classroom assistant. A very important role, but not a lofty position in the overall pecking order. She just floated into the staff room like Mary Poppins, practically perfect in every way. It was like she had rays of light coming out of her face. She just lit the room up and you could feel it. Everyone seemed to smile. The room lifted, conversations changed, people were delighted to see her. In less than 5 seconds, the grumpiness had been exorcised. Just to clarify, so the enormity hits you like it hit me, this lady hadn't even said anything. She just walked into the room. I stood there thinking, wow, who are you? You've not even opened your mouth and I want to be you. I want to be Mary Poppins. So there I was, stood in the salle de professeur, thinking to myself, who are you going to be, Gavin? Mary Poppins or Mr. Banks? They both have impact, huge impact, life-lasting impact, just in two polar opposite ways. I made a pact with myself that day. Whatever I do in life, I find myself faced with whatever I'm going to be, Mary Poppins. All of a sudden, the lady with the sunbeams shining out of her face turned and with a big smile came towards me. "Are you Gavin?" The first person to address me by name. "Yes," I stuttered. "And are you Mary?" No, I didn't really ask that. "Yeah, that's me," I beamed back. "You're with me this morning, Gavin, in the nursery. Let's go play." And with rays of sunshine coming out of her faces, we floated off down the corridor. As we approached the nursery, I kid you not, she turned and said, "And today, Gavin, we're making kites." Boom. She really was Mary Poppins. Like, I've adapted that from Shine. That's Gav's writing, okay, which I think is great. But if I spare you the long words and I spare you all my stuff, the inspiring person, okay, think about the Mary Poppins character there. She lives in the same world as everybody else. Bad stuff happens to her. She's on the same pay. She's got the same conditions, with the same leadership team, with not enough time and not enough resources to do her job properly. She's got the same politics, the same weather, the same commute, the same traffic. So well-being and the ability to shine is less about your circumstances out there and more about what's going on in here. You, whoever's listening to this, teacher, parent, whatever, you are the secret ingredient. Thanks for listening.